you sitting around here for? You have a review to do.
What's wrong? Are you upset because you've barely gotten any funding from the fans, or because that guy with the glasses hasn't given you a spot on the site? Look, if you can't beat them, join them. Maybe a few more similarities to their style wouldn't hurt. Now all that matters is that you get out there and you do your job. Come on, ERod. This just might be your last show. If I were you, I'd want to go out with a bang.
It's better to go down with a battle cry than with a whimper.
Where'd you hear that from?
From you.
If I'm going out with a bang. So bring on Eragon!
In a world of uncertainty, where movie theaters are plagued by remakes and sequels, in a world where big budget movies can still suck, in this world we have the Blockbuster Buster.
Greetings, fanboys and fangirls. I'm ERod, and I'm sorry, I'm just not up to this. Even if I am making fun of an idiotically blatant Star Wars knockoff, Wait a minute. A knockoff? Well, I guess if I can't beat him... Hello, I'm the Blockbuster critic. I'm gonna sit in front of this plain white background and poke fun of this movie without changing camera angles. Or will I? Now I'm gonna save myself some editing time by showing you this movie's trailer. Ah yes, Eragon, another forgotten film fart based on a book, made during the era when all studios were clamoring to make a movie franchise to compete with Harry Potter. Based on the book by writing prodigy Christopher Paolini, this harrowing tale of a boy and his dragon was translated from an original and captivating medieval fantasy into a sad, bland Star Wars wannabe. How does that make you feel, other person from my website?
It makes me angry!
This cover sucks. We got all the main characters in the foreground like they're posing for family picture, then we have the dragon who's supposed to be the focus of the picture in the midground, and then we have this nondescript castle in the background. Yeah, all the characters posing, that's a good cover. And am I the only one in the room that's just appalled that Aria is exposing her bare shoulder for God and everybody to see? Yes. So our movie begins with the Empire, Yalatoric's forces, capturing Princess Leia, Aria, but not before she sends out a message to Eragon in the form of a blue stone, carrying a prophecy.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
What? His name is Eragon? Well, that's an obvious anagram of dragon. Was Draco taken? Was Draconis too obvious? This reminds me of a reference from a computer game that none of you have ever heard of and would take me 20 minutes to set up. Long story short, it involves mixing mysticism with science. Whoa, I said science, you know what that means.
Science! There you go, that should boost the views on this video. I guess I'll go do a cameo on somebody else's video and boost their views.
So after staring at the horizon and contemplating how much more he can knock off Luke Skywalker, Eragon discovers that the blue stone is actually a dragon egg.
It's not just a dragon. That's a Norwegian ridgeback.
Let's see what the bad guys are doing.
What is thy bidding, my master?
That's what I thought. Any thoughts from anybody else from the site? Gee, a damsel in distress. We haven't seen that in like every movie ever. I guess what we have here is an example of a deus. Damsel is inactive until hero shows. Any more thoughts? Nope. I could use pretentious film school lingo for a few minutes. Nope, I'd rather wave my arms pointlessly so somebody can make a looping video out of it. Big lip crocodile scene! So Eragon takes his dragon for a walk and... While in the book it takes a long time for Saphira to grow to adulthood, in the movie they condense it into 3 seconds. She flies, becomes engulfed in flames, and emerges as a fully grown dragon. Well, that was convenient. Now that is fucking hardcore! What do you think, Gary? Omelette de fromage. So after stormtroopers, Sarax, attack Eragon's house...
If they trace the robots here, they may have learned who they sold them to, and that would lead them back home.
Obi-Wan, Brom, takes him under his wing. Look, he's talking about another dragon rider that went to the dark side, just like that other bloke in that other movie. I'm going to sip on this tea, because silence is funny. So our heroes do their best to make their way to the Death Star, the castle, to rescue the princess. And this is how they get away. Well, that's nothing like Star Wars. Actually, it's more of a direct reference to the concept of ki, or life force, found in the Street Fighter anime by Hagata Takashita and Oroku Saki. So our heroes storm the castle, save the princess, and hook up with Han Solo. Check, check, check. Wait, there's still one thing that they did in Star Wars that they haven't done in this movie. And check! Afterwards, Shade punishes his subordinates.
You. Congratulations. You've just been promoted.
Well, good. At least that doesn't happen in Star Wars. What is that, the disembodied voice of my brother? Darth Vader does kill one of his underlings and then promote another in Star Wars?
You have failed me for the last time, Admiral. Captain Piet,
Yes, my lord.
make ready to land our troops beyond their energy field, then deploy the fleet so that nothing gets off the system. You are in command now, Admiral Piet.
Thank you, Lord Vader.
Now that is fucking hardcore! Just like my favorite actor from Conan the Barbarian, Mako. What is a Mako? Is it like a shark? So after a bad landing,
Watch out for that
our heroes seek haven with a token black character. Another thing that didn't happen in Star Wars. Great Wookiee impersonation, disembodied voice of my brother. Here's a treat. So our heroes prepare on the rebel base for the coming attack of the Death Star. The bad guys, when there is a startling revelation.
He is the son of Morzan, the traitor.
So Shade is Han's father? I'm upset. This is me upset. This pisses me the fuck off! Wait, I'm not on this website. Ass! So the villains show up to kill the rebel forces and take over the world. Raul Julia! Luckily, our hero is ready to save the day.
As one! Great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million.
So everything is great as Eragon saved the day. Or did he? So that was Eragon. The only more blatant Star Wars ripoff that I've seen was Spaceballs, and that was on purpose. Does anybody else have any thoughts? It makes me angry! Shindy Andalou? C-47, Goboarm, SR-3, Storero. Okay, anybody else? Manga. Death comic sucks. What does that have to do with anything? Does anybody else have anything else to say? While Wing Commander may be the best free-roaming computer game, it suffered from a severe lack of dragons. Does anyone have anything relevant to say? Eragon wasn't just a Star Wars ripoff, it was also a knockoff of 1981's Dragon Slayer, starring Peter McNichol and Caitlin Clark. Okay, I guess nobody has anything important to say, and horribafuckus, I'm out of catchphrases. Heart! Okay, now I'm out of catchphrases. So that was Eragon. Now if you excuse me, I'm gonna go spoil a recently released movie in the guise of a homeless man, but not before running into this wall. Ow! That really hurt. Why do I do this every week? This movie is tolerable. Its main issue is that it's based on a very cool and very original book series, but instead of being faithful to the source material, they decided to produce Star Wars with dragons. Notice how it didn't take me 30 minutes to say that? Now if you excuse me, I'm going to continue to try to be entertaining and dynamic.